Welcome to your August horoscope forecast. All of 2025, we are going through a year 9 in numerology, which is endings, completions, and for some of us, a wish fulfillment. August is a month 17-8, and it is actually about fame, stardom, and spiritual knowledge and power. Being very well known in tarot, it is the major arcana card of hope, inspiration after a hard period in life, trusting in the universe and creative inspiration. So this is a really good month for advancement. August 6th, Mars will move into Libra, where we will definitely be feeling a different type of energy to Mars as it's going to oppose Saturn and Neptune in Aries. And last month, as it was transiting Virgo, it was a lot more subdued as it was sitting with the South Node. August 8th, Mars opposite Saturn, there can be a lot of anger, frustrations, and a lot of disappointments. We may feel like we are being restricted. Maybe there is something we are desiring and there is blockages. Or literally somebody saying no to you, somebody standing in the way of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. As we go into the full moon with Mars opposite Neptune, we may feel a lot of frustration, disappointment, anger, and that can be caused because something we find out, something that we've been not seeing come to light. So pay attention. The middle of the month can feel a little bit frustrating. We may also see more world conflict and crazy weather patterns as Mars is opposite Saturn and Neptune. August 9th, the full moon in Aquarius can be an emotional roller coaster. So this is basically the wrapping up of the new moon we had in July in Leo. So this is where you will reap rewards in this area of life this month. But this is also where you can have a closure, something coming to fruition and ending in some way. There can be frustrations as this is when Mars will be opposing Saturn, Mars will be opposing Neptune, and Saturn and Neptune are retrograde. So the ruler of this full moon being retrograde means that we are dealing with things that happen in the past. We may have a lot of things that are revealed to us in some way. Saturn is retrograding in the sign of Aries. So wherever you have the sign of Aries with Saturn and Neptune really both retrograding in this house, you are going over something, going back to the past, or you may see the issues in that area of life come to the forefront for review. August 11th, Mercury will station direct in the sign of Leo, where in July it went retrograde along with where we had the new moon in Leo, where even though it was a new beginning, there was transformation, letting go. There was a lot of aspects to that new moon. And now you can gain clarity with how to go forward, how to move forward, and communication should go a little bit smoother from now on. August 12th, Venus will come together with Jupiter at 14 degrees of Cancer. Wherever you have the sign of Cancer in your chart, for about 2 weeks, starting from the 12th, moving forward, you're going to see a lot more opportunities, a lot more joy coming to that area of life. On the 22nd, the sun will move into Virgo, kicking off Virgo season. August 23rd, we have a new moon in the sign of Virgo. This is where we have eclipses now and more to come this fall. It is where the South Node is residing. You are beginning something new here at the end of August and into September. Since this is where the South Node is, the new beginning may come from the past. You may go back to the past in some way and bring it back, work on it further. This may also be that the new beginning is initiated in this part of the chart for you because of dissatisfaction. Wherever we have the South Node, there is some sort of dissatisfaction. We are wanting something else. So the new beginning may come through realizations that something is just not right in this area, and we want to begin something new, do things in a whole new way. So the sun, the conscious mind, and the moon, the subconscious mind, are coming together. So this new beginning is really going to become a part of you. Aside from the horoscopes, some of us are under the influence of Pluto, Neptune, or Uranus in the month of August. Pluto is transiting from 2 degrees to 1 degrees. It is retrograde right now. If you have personal planets from 0 to 2 degrees of Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio, you can be undergoing huge shifts and transformations in your life right now. It may even come through chaos. And you're also having a lot of realizations at this time. So this can be an area of life where you have a huge wake-up call. Neptune also retrograde, but if you do have personal planets from about 0 to 3 degrees of Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, you can also be lifting, taking off the rose-colored glasses and seeing reality as it really is, or things are revealed to you, shown to you, so you can deal with them in the proper way. If you have personal planets from 0 to 3 degrees of Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, or Pisces, you are under a Uranus transit this month, which means things can happen out of the blue. You may be feeling irritable, like you can't sleep, or things are changing at a rapid pace in your life. If it's moon, it's family, females in your life, moving home. If it's sun, it's males in your life, career, your looks. If it's Venus, it's love, beauty, money, suddenly falling in love, suddenly breaking up, huge relationship changes. So some of you will also be experiencing the outer planets making connections to your personal planets this month. If you find this video helpful, like, comment, and subscribe for more. I will have everything time-stamped down below. Aries, the first 6 days of August, Mars is sitting with the South Node in your 6th house. You can feel like the energy has been drained from you, and you are really aligning yourself with different work habits, different daily routines. There could be issues going on at work with employees or the people that you work with as well. You're also letting go of old habits and patterns that get in the way of your health, especially your daily routines may change. So you may be releasing some negative habits at this time, or you have been through July, or really trying to find a new way to stay healthy. How to deal with employees or the people that you work with, maybe integrating a brand new routine into your life. Some of you, even a new job, a new career. And remember, Aries, right now, you guys are completely changing who you are, maybe even who you are hanging out with. Because as Neptune and Saturn are transiting the 1st house, they are really ridding you maybe of your old identity. A lot of times when Saturn will transit the 1st house, it's like you are parting with your old identity. It could be through maybe you were single, now you're married and becoming a mother, or maybe you're moving. There is something in your life that is changing. So Saturn's going to make you get serious about this change. So you may feel a little bit down, like you are having to make these changes, because that's what Saturn does, is it makes us really look at our lives and what it is that needs shifting, what it is that needs changing. So you'll notice now that you are beginning a new change, a new chapter in your life, or really wanting to initiate one. And as Mars will transit your 7th house this month, it will oppose Saturn, and this can bring a lot of frustrations from romantic partners, or maybe even legal dealings, business partners. So just be mindful of this, that you could be actually igniting a huge change because of a romantic partner, maybe because you meet a new romantic partner. There could be a strong attraction this month to somebody, or it is maybe that there is conflict with an existing romantic partner. As Mars is sitting in your 7th house, if you find yourself maybe getting into arguments with a romantic partner, it's probably time to do more active stuff together. But this can be a time where romantic partners get on your nerves a little bit, or there could be fighting with a romantic partner, or there could be issues going on in their lives that you are helping them with. This can also be conflict with friends, business partners, so just a little bit more agitation when it comes to your personal relationships from the 7th until the rest of August, really. On the 8th, Mars will oppose Saturn and Neptune that are retrograding in your first house, which may intensify arguments, disagreements, and there may be blockages coming from clients, business partners, romantic partners. It may be that you want to do something and somebody is standing in your way. So there may be some frustrations and disappointments leading up to and through the full moon. August 9th, we have a full moon in Aquarius, and in July, we had a new moon in Leo where Mercury was also stationed retrograde. Now we are coming full circle, and you could be reaping the benefits of what you started in your 5th house area. So something with creativity. This could be a creative project you were working on, maybe putting your creativity out there for the public to view, to see a new romance blossoming. Integrating new hobbies into your life, maybe with a new friendship group, a new friendship circle all around you, or maybe even joining new people online. A full moon in the 11th is your goals, dreams coming true. So some of you may see that your social life is changing. You could be letting go, releasing old friendships that no longer align with you, no longer serve you. Maybe leaving a charity, an organization that is not aligned with you, and reaping the benefits of what you started. So this could be a time where you even gain more followers or receive a lot of recognition for your work. Connect with brand new people through social media even. So maybe you are completely changing your friendship circle for some of you, or even just who you follow, who you want to watch on social media. On the 11th, we have Mercury going direct in the sign of Leo. And in July, we had a new moon in Leo that was aspected by Mercury, Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. So there's a lot going on within your 5th house of dating, creative self-expression, and this can even be with your children. So there's a new beginning unfolding, and there might have been issues coming up to the forefront, maybe even something that you had to release, let go of, or learn to do things in a new way, a different way, take on a new approach. So as Mercury will turn direct, you can gain more insight into what it is that you want to or need to change. So if there have been issues with children, with a new romantic relationship, a creative project, you can find a way to resolve these issues now. Or maybe even you are going to be in contact with somebody new, somebody you are dating, or even somebody from the past may appear. On the 12th, Jupiter is going to be conjunct with Venus in your 4th house of home, family, vehicles, mother, and this is a fantastic time to buy a vehicle, move, redecorate, buy a house. There is some kind of a lucky new beginning happening in the 4th house area for you, Aries. So you can feel a lot more secure when it comes to your family, maybe even a new family member, a new pet. On the 22nd, the sun will enter Virgo, your 6th house, shining a light on health, routine, and work projects at the end of the month. August 22nd, the sun goes into Virgo, your 6th house, and August 23rd, we have a new moon in the sign of Virgo, and this is where the South Node is residing all year. So you are not only initiating something new, but you are integrating it into your soul, a very important new moon for you in the 6th house of daily routines, the sign of health, work, colleagues, and this new moon, we've got the subconscious and the conscious meeting together. And with the South Node, you are really going to be integrating whatever it is that you begin. A lot of you, it is new healthy habits, maybe a new diet regimen, a new workout routine, hiring new people, maybe starting your own business, some of you. And then on the 25th, Venus will go into the sign of Leo. This is your 5th house. So towards the end of the month, it could be a time where you meet a romantic partner, you really enjoy spending time with your children, or you are just having a lot more fun working on your hobbies, your creative projects. I hope this was helpful, Aries. Taurus, the first 6 days, we have Mars in the sign of Virgo. So this is your 5th house. So there could be issues or arguments with children, with romantic partners, or this could be you initiating something in the 5th house area, a new creative project, new investments. And this is where the sign of the South Node is also residing. So you are learning to release different things, maybe different ways that you have done relationships, or even with your children or your significant other. So maybe some of you have been picking up new hobbies, new creative projects, or initiating something in this department, or maybe even a new romance. On the 7th, Mars will go into your 6th house. And this can cause issues with employees, or maybe you find out that some of the employees that you have hired have been dishonest, or this can also cause issues with work schedule, maybe even issues with your pet. Maybe some health issues that come up to be resolved. There could be a sense of frustration when it comes to work, daily routine, and schedules, because not only will Mars reside in your 6th house for most of August, but it is also going to oppose Saturn and Neptune in your 12th house, causing frustrations. And this can be due to health, due to work, or maybe even expenses coming up out of the blue that you are not prepared for. So there could be a sense that you are also letting go and releasing the old, because the 12th house is where we are just releasing things that no longer serve us. So it's a great time to do a big clean out, maybe feng shui your home, or just get rid of things that no longer belong in your life. But really remember that there could be some agitation when it comes to work, when it comes to colleagues or employees. August 9th, we have a full moon in Aquarius. This is your 10th house of career and public image. So there can be endings within your career, within your workplace, your place of employment, or maybe you are celebrating achievements at this time. Just at the end of July, we had a new moon in Leo, and it could have been a little bit of a harder new moon with aspects from Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, and Mercury. Maybe there was some chaos or having to give something up when it comes to vehicles, relationship with a parent, or people in the home, or things in the home breaking down. And now you could be really focusing all your energy on your career ambitions. You could also be finding a new way to present yourself to the world. Maybe there is new colleagues, a new boss, new hours, a new position at work, a promotion for some of you. So a brand new beginning in your career sector, Taurus. On the 11th, Mercury will finally station direct in your 4th house, and there's could be a lot of clarity when it comes to vehicles, when it comes to the relationship with your parents, something going on in your parents' lives, as well as your home life. So if some of you are wanting to buy a new home, maybe get a new place, or maybe there's issues that have been occurring in the home that finally now you realize how to go about them, how to solve them. Maybe if you've had to fix stuff in your house, or maybe there is a new member in the family and you are learning how to integrate everybody together. There is a sense of transformation within the home, the family unit, because you have Pluto opposing all of this. And this is where we had a new moon in July. So for you, it really could have been a big shift in the home life, in the family, happening from July all the way until the middle of August. Maybe a new member of the family, a new vehicle, a pet. You're integrating something new into the 4th house area, but at the same time giving something up, or maybe just clearing house, getting rid of stuff. So there's a big shift and transformation within your home life, your security, your emotions. For some of you, even a move or a new vehicle. So it's a brand new beginning, something exciting, but it can feel chaotic because that new moon in Leo that we had in July had aspects of Saturn, Pluto, Mercury, as well as Uranus. So even a sudden shift for some of you. And with Mercury going direct, communication should go a lot smoother. On the 12th, Venus will conjunct Jupiter at 14 degrees of Cancer. This is your third house. So a lot of you will have a lot of luck or maybe even a calling to learn a new skill. This could be that you are exploring your neighborhood, going out a lot more, really enjoying your town where you live, just kind of being more active within the community. New neighbors, new maybe even gadgets, maybe such as a cell phone, a computer. But for a lot of you, this could be wanting to promote yourself online, wanting to learn a new skill, learn something new, market yourself in a different way. And Jupiter and Venus could bring a lot of luck into this area. On the 22nd, the Sun will enter the sign of Virgo, highlighting romantic relationships, highlighting creative projects, creative self-expression. So there could be something creative that you are working on or wanting to start on your own. Maybe even a new business venture, investing your money in a different way for some of you. August 23rd, there is a new moon in the sign of Virgo. Now we had Mars in the sign of Virgo along with the South Node. So what was happening is you could have been releasing old ways that you were dealing with your children, you were dealing with creative projects, romantic partners, and you have integrated new ways to maybe showcase your creativity. There is new hobbies coming to you. Maybe you are initiating a new creative venture, new talents, maybe trying to turn what you love into a business for some of you, or maybe even investing your money. A new romance could be blossoming for some of you, Taurus. So if you are looking for love towards the end of August, this may be a time where you find a romantic partner, go on a date. And because the eclipses are happening in the 11th and 5th house axis for you, Taurus, and we're having some coming up here in the fall, this could even be someone coming back from the past, or a past life connection. You could meet somebody and really feel like you have a past life soul connection with them. This can also be a time where you enjoy spending time with your children, with friends. It's a time to have fun. So a lot of you, there could be a lot of stuff going on when it comes to romance, children, and fun towards the end of the month. And on the 25th, Venus enters the sign of Leo. So really, it's lighting up your 4th house area. This can mean that towards the end of the month, you really enjoy spending time with your family, within your home, maybe even wanting to redecorate, clean your home out. I hope that this was helpful, Taurus. Gemini, the first 6 days of August, just like the prior month, Mars is in your 4th house, but it is with the South Node. So you are integrating something new into your consciousness at this time, and you may feel a little bit more lazy, or like there's stuff going on in your house, but you aren't as argumentative because, of course, Mars with the South Node is a little bit lazier. Now, for the rest of the month, you will have Mars in your 5th house, so watch out for fights or arguments with your children or significant other. But this can also lead to strong attractions and you really working hard on a creative project or finding a new creative outlet, maybe even just having more fun. So that will be your focus for the month. At the same time, around the 8th, Mars will be opposite Saturn in your 11th house. There can be frustrations when it comes to children, romantic partners, creative projects, as well as friendship circles that you belong to. And while Saturn is retrograding along with Neptune in your 11th house, you may be really rethinking some of your friendships, and maybe even a friendship from the past comes back into your life. And if you have personal planets or your rising sign is from 0 to about 3 or 4 degrees of Gemini, you are under the Uranus transit right now. So if it's moon, things in your family can be changing. If it's sun, your career, your image, your health. If it's your rising sign, maybe you are taking on a completely different look. So you guys can be having a lot of sudden changes, unexpected, something that brings in your authentic self out into the world. August 9th, there is a full moon in Aquarius. This is your 9th house of higher education, publishing, travel, passports, legal dealings. This can be a spiritual breakthrough where you have a clear vision for your future. Maybe you wanting to go back to school, publish your work, or maybe you are taking a trip somewhere. This can also be a finality in a court case or passports, immigration, something like this. Finishing a book, maybe returning from a trip around the world, or if you went somewhere, there can be some intense situations that arise with your relationship with your siblings, your neighborhood, where you hang out, how you promote yourself, and you may be having to release things, give something up in that area. So maybe you are doing something when it comes to your skill sets, how you promote yourself, that no longer works, and you are trying out something new. So you could be parting ways with a teacher, with a philosophy, and really going towards something else. And it could even be something that you have done prior and you just didn't take the initiative. So this could be a new initiative in learning skill sets, as well as publishing and promoting yourself through social media, through online, through finding different teachers. On the 11th, Mercury will station direct, and Mercury is your ruler, so things can finally start making sense in the area of skill sets, self-initiative, social media, promoting yourself, your community, your siblings. There could be something opening up for you that you now want to pursue, a skill set that you might have left behind that you now want to pursue further. Communication and everything else will go a lot smoother. On the 12th, Venus will be conjuncting with Jupiter at 14 degrees of Cancer. This is your second house of finances. So this is an excellent time to buy yourself something beautiful, because the second house is what we want to purchase. Maybe there is something you've been wanting to purchase for a long time. And right now, whatever it is that you buy, whatever comes into your life, you will enjoy and like for a really long time to come. So not only buying yourself new possessions, but an increase in money. Or maybe you have a money-making idea. I would say this is the time, go for it. Mercury will be direct, and this is such a wonderful conjunction in your second house. This will also help improve your self-esteem, your self-worth. You're going to start to feel a lot better, like you can accomplish things that you have been planning. On the 22nd, the sun enters the sign of Virgo, shining a light on your fourth house area. So there is something that you are doing with home and family, changes within the home, or who lives in the home where you live, because also August 23rd, we have a new moon in Virgo, and this is also where the eclipses have been going on and more coming up in the fall for you, Gemini. So there is a new beginning, maybe a new vehicle. This could also be redecorating your home, maybe somebody new moving in, a new pet, a new baby, a new roommate, or maybe some of you are thinking about moving, making a move, or just planning a move. This could also mean that there is something brand new unfolding in the life of your mother, your parents. So there is brand new beginnings. But this is also where we had Mars with the South Node transiting all of July and in the very first week of August. So not only were you maybe even giving something up, clearing house within your fourth house, or experiencing some changes within the home, but you were also, because the South Node is like an integration, you were really integrating something new that you have learned in the month of July and the beginning of August in your fourth house area. So there could be a lot of changes happening in the home, or maybe family connections, your security. So you could look forward to something new unfolding in your home life within your family. On the 25th, Venus enters the sign of Leo. So after the 25th, the joy and fun will come from promoting yourself, using your skill sets, or just getting out and hanging out with people, talking to people, whether it is in your community or through social media. I hope that this was helpful for you, Gemini. Cancer, the first 6 days of August, Mars will still be in your third house with the South Node, where you are integrating a new skill into your mindset, into your way of thinking, promoting yourself. After the 6th and for the rest of the month, Mars will shift into your fourth house of home, family, mother, and this is where you need to be more careful of things in the home breaking down, or maybe you are really working towards something within your home, within your family. This can also be arguments, disagreements with family members, so do be cautious of this. August 8th, Mars will oppose Saturn. This may even lead to a lot of anger, frustration, disappointment, or something standing in the way of your path. Maybe there is something you want and there's a lot of blockages happening for you. And for you, this is between your security, your home life, your family, and the outer world, your career, your public image, maybe even fights or disagreements with superiors, people of authority, and with your family members. So do be cautious, especially around the 8th and leading into the full moon, because it's going to be in your 8th house. So there could be some dramatic feelings that come up within you. On August 9th, the full moon in Aquarius is landing in your 8th house of transformation, rebirth. It could be maybe something is ending physically, metaphorically. There can be an ending, or you are searching for the answers, researching something, or maybe you are finally getting the answers. You could be deep into research, occult studies. On a mundane level, this could be an end to a contract, an agreement that you had. For some of you, this could be a financial reward, financial gains, especially in connection with a partner, business partner, spouse, in-laws, or you could actually be achieving a joint venture goal. But whenever we have a full moon in the 8th, a lot of stuff can come up and we could be feeling uneasy. Things from the past can be coming back into our lives to be dealt with, or we can just feel like we have a lot to release, let go of. August 11th, Mercury will station direct in your second house of income. So if there has been some kind of delay in a purchase of a property, a purchase of something bigger, or contracts, things can now get resolved and communication will be a lot better. And at the end of July and most of August, you are still working towards that new moon in Leo, which was aspected by Mercury, Uranus, Pluto, Saturn, Neptune. So there could have been a new possession that came into your life, maybe even a new family member, a new pet, something important that you have been working on, self-esteem, money, possessions, any of that stuff, and you are still working through this. As Saturn and Neptune are retrograding in your 10th house, you could be going over new career goals, maybe even going back to the drawing board and starting something new, or going back to something you had previously wanted to do. Now, the big one, Cancer, is on the 12th, but this is really active for all of August. Venus will conjunct with Jupiter at 14 degrees of Cancer. If you have your rising sign or sun or moon close to that 14 degrees of Cancer, this is extra lucky for you. But this is your ascendant. This could be you changing your looks, you finally gaining what it is that you want. With that full moon in your 8th house, maybe a lot of you are letting go of the past and initiating a brand new start. This is excellent for meeting somebody new if you are wanting to date, wanting to fall in love, or just attracting a lot of abundance to you. So an excellent time to manifest, dream big, excellent time for a new haircut, an updated wardrobe. Venus in the first house will make you more charismatic, attractive. You are just going to feel good and attract a lot of that good energy to you. On the 22nd, the sun will enter the sign of Virgo. So a spotlight on the third house of self-efforts, community, neighborhood, and skill sets. A lot of you could be integrating your new skill sets into your work life right now. August 23rd, we have a new moon in Virgo, your third house. And this is all about conversations, gossip, getting together with people, talking to people, your commute, your community. So there could be maybe even new stores, new places you want to hang out in within your community. You taking a greater interest to socialize, promote yourself, whether online, through social media, or through your community. This can also be a trip. Well, this is a new moon. This is where the South Node is residing. South Node wants perfectionism. It's not satisfied. So this can also cause an insecurity in skill sets, in the way that you initiate things. And because we feel this insecurity, we want something to change, you, from the end of the month, are going to take the initiative to change something, whether it is a relationship with your siblings, gaining new skill set, attaining new equipment that you need to do the job, or maybe educating yourself further. This is where the eclipses are happening. So a lot of you could be actually initiating something new, maybe even buying new cell phones, new computers, promote yourself better. With that Saturn and Neptune retrograding in your 10th house of career, a lot of you are trying to elevate your skill set, the image that you portray to the outside world. August 25th, Venus will enter the sign of Leo, where you just had in July a new moon. So you were starting something new. And when Venus is in our second house, it's an excellent time to buy yourself something that you will love for a very long time, whether it is makeup, jewelry, clothing, going out to eat, really enjoying yourself, delving into your senses. So towards the end of the month is a great time for shopping, but for you, Cancer, really actually all month, because you have Venus on your ascendant, making you more charming, more attractive all month basically. And then at the end, it is going into your second house, giving your finances a big boost. But do watch out for arguments, disagreements within the home or within the family. I hope that this was helpful, Cancer. Leo, Uranus is transiting 1 degree of Gemini. If you have personal planets from about 0 to 3 degrees of Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, or Virgo, you could have a huge monumental shift in your life starting this month. So depending on the planet that is residing in those signs, in those degrees, also from the 1st through the 6th, Mars is still in Virgo, along with the South Node in your second house. So you are integrating something into your financial sector, your possessions, your money-making abilities the first week of August. After that, Mars will go into your third house. So be more cautious of arguments with siblings, driving in your community, maybe even getting in fights with neighbors. But this is going to make you more ambitious. You're going to want to go out more, be a part of the community, even on social media. You are maybe initiating, learning something new, a new skill set. But there could be issues with There could also be some issues with electronics, computers, cell phones that come up for you in the month of August. August 8th, Mars will oppose Saturn. This can bring frustration, disappointment, or you could feel like you are restricted, maybe with your communication, promoting yourself, a course, a legal battle of some sort, travel plans, passports, immigration, because this is this access. And while Saturn and Neptune are retrograding in your 9th house, you may be really rethinking where you want to live, if you want to travel, what course you want to take, your teachers, as well as any kind of philosophy, politics, your belief system may be undergoing some rethinking at this time. You may be really really analyzing this. But with this Mars opposition to Saturn, this can bring up a lot of frustration, even anger in a lot of us, especially leading up to the full moon. August 9th, the full moon in Aquarius can bring endings within relationships and partnerships of all kinds, even business partners, friendships. Some of you may be taking a relationship to the next level. Marriage, more responsibilities together as a couple. This can also be reaching a financial goal with a friend or a business partner, or seeking common ground with a partner, a significant other, or even somebody who is in opposition to you, where you finally reach a common ground. If you have any enemies right now, this could be where things kind of come to a head, especially with that Mars opposite to Saturn this month happening for you, Leo. There could be a lot of opposition for you. A full moon is when things finally come together. It is reaching a result of something that you have been working towards. So maybe you've been getting to know someone and now you're taking the relationship to the next level, taking the business partnership to the next level, seeing the fruits of your labor within a partnership. Or it could be time to release certain friends, business partners, or romantic relationships. But it is a time we're feeling a little bit more moody. A lot of emotions could be coming up because this is your 7th house of partnership. On the 11th, Mercury will station direct. So if you have been maybe holding back on changing your look, your aesthetic, or your path in life has been in question for some time, maybe even your health to some degree, things can finally have a resolution. You could feel like communication is so much better and things are moving forward, especially when it comes to your life path, your health. On the 12th, Venus will conjunct Jupiter in your 12th house at 14 degrees of Cancer. This is a really lucky time. The 12th house is the house of losses, expenses. It's the house of foreign travel, donating to charities, the house of escapism. But there could be something that you are working on behind the scenes that brings you a lot of joy. Maybe a new relationship starts behind the scenes for some of you. A trip that really broadens your viewpoint on life, brings in a lot of happiness for you. This is really good for your mental health as well. This can be a time where you overcome any self-limiting beliefs, let go of bad, negative patterns in your life, whether it be addictions or even thinking patterns. If you are always thinking in a negative way, maybe you spend a lot of money on something, but it brings you a lot of joy. This can also mean that you really benefit from future investments. At the same token, this is protection. Protection from enemies, people who gossip about you, people who are out to get you. You can maybe find out a lot of secrets right now, or people will just leave you alone. Jupiter and Venus are protecting you from all negativity. If you are in a creative, artistic field, this is a time where so many new great ideas will come to you. And you have Saturn in the house of publishing, so a lot of you can be actually making tangible results out of things that come to you. Also, watch your dreams. Your dreams can bring you a lot of answers this month, Leo. On the 22nd, the sun will enter your 2nd house, really highlighting your finances, your possessions. On the 23rd, the new moon in your 2nd house in the sign of Virgo is really the beginning of new financial goals, new possessions. This could even be new friends, new family members, anything that you hold near and dear to you. There could be a new beginning in this area. So a lot of you may be even starting a new job, starting your own business, buying possessions, or something that is very meaningful to you. The 2nd house is where you are having the South Node eclipses. So you've been having them more coming up this fall. And this is where the new moon is. This could even be something coming up from the past, or the past resurfacing in some way. Maybe something that you've always wanted to buy, you thought about, and now you will have the opportunity to buy that something that you've always wanted, or maybe even start that job that you wanted to a long time before, start that business. This is where the South Node is residing. South Node can give us insecurity, dissatisfaction. We're always searching for something more wherever the South Node is because of the dissatisfaction. So there could be dissatisfaction with the way that you make your money, how much money is coming in, certain possessions, and this dissatisfaction is what is going to get the ball rolling into you changing something in this area of your life from the end of August and through September until the next new moon. This new moon for you guys is dealing with money, your routine in some way, your health, your eating habits, dental work, initiating maybe some dental work, buying possessions, or a new source of income that you will be working towards from the 23rd all the way until the next new moon in September. August 25th, Venus will enter Leo, where you're going to be more charming, more magnetic, a great time to attract romantic partners to you. If you are single, you want to date, this is an excellent time to buy yourself some clothes, maybe do your hair a different way, or just try out new things. When Venus is in the first house, we feel more beautiful, we're more magnetic. So towards the end of the month is a great time for shopping, for love. I hope that this was helpful, Leo. Virgo, the first week of August, you still have Mars in your sign, and this is where the South Node is residing. So you are really reconfiguring your life, tweaking some changes as you have been through July, and integrating them into your daily routine, into your life. These new practices will become a part of you now. So the changes you are initiating are going to stay with you for a long time to come, and you may have been feeling a little bit less motivated because when Mars is with the South Node, we're not feeling that normal Martian energy. After the 7th, Mars will go into your second house, into the sign of Libra, where you could be really spending a lot of money. Even impulsive spending. There could be some family disagreements, arguments. This can also lead to loss of possessions, a damage to your possessions. August 8th, but really all month you want to watch out for this. We have Mars opposite Saturn, and this can bring in frustrations, blockages to your plans, a lot of anger. And for you, it's the 2nd, 8th house axis. So the money that you make versus the money that you share with a spouse, partner, maybe having to streamline your expenses. But do be cautious of this. This is your 2nd and 8th house axis. So there could be a transformation, something you are trying to undertake when it comes to money making, and there seems to be a lot of blockages in your way. And this can lead to a lot of frustration, especially as we go into the full moon on the 9th, happening in your 6th house in the sign of Aquarius. So this full moon has a lot to do with your routine coming to an end. This is where Pluto is residing. This could be you wanting to change your routine, whether for health reasons, for work reasons, for scheduling reasons. It is a great time to let go of any bad negative habits or completely transform your routine. Pluto in the 6th house is actually wanting you to transform your day-to-day life. It's a great time to pay off bills, pay off debt, and this can be a time if you own a business, maybe you let go of some employees or even coworkers, the people that you work with. Some of them may quit, some of them may leave. For some of you, this could actually be achieving a health goal. If that's something that you have been working towards, you've been dieting, exercising, anything like that, and now you actually are seeing the fruits of your labor come to pass. This is a great time to maybe leave a job as well. Some of you might be leaving a job and trying to initiate a new career, wanting to make a change when it comes to your health, your eating habits. The sixth house, also the house of discord, and this is where Mars will be opposing Neptune. It's going to be opposing Saturn, so there could be disagreements, people standing in the way of what you want to achieve. And around this time, people may just seem more anxious and angry, so just be a little bit more cautious around the full moon. All of August, your ruler is in the 12th house, and for the first 11 days, it is retrograde on the 11th. Mercury stations direct in your 12th house, maybe finally giving you answers to past situations you were unaware of for some of you. Any gossip, any secrets held from you may be revealed to you in some way. There could also be a lot of realizations you come to on your own about past situations. And Mercury rules you, and it rules over your career. This can be a time where you are planning to do a change within your career, a change with a look, a personal aesthetic, maybe even changing up your style, and you're unaware of how you want to proceed yet. After the 11th, you can have a clear vision of how you want to proceed, and communication should be so much better. On the 12th, Venus is conjuncting Jupiter at 14 degrees of Cancer in your 11th house of groups, friendships, hopes, and dreams. The house of fame. It's the house of attention. And you want to pay attention to this all month long, because if you're on social media or there's been something you've been really wanting, this can be a time where your dreams are presented to you, or you could finally be introduced to people who can help you achieve goals, or maybe set you on the right path to achieve your goals, gain more followers, get noticed. For some of you, maybe even a pay raise, more attention coming to you, more people really showing you that they care. Fantastic if you work in sales, if you work in social media, from the beginning till the end of the month, focusing on your dreams and hanging out with friends, meeting new people will bring you a lot of joy. Uranus this month is transiting 1 degree of Gemini, Virgo. So if you have personal planets from about 0 to 3 degrees of Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, or Pisces, or maybe you are a very early degree Virgo rising, this is the time you can really feel Uranus really shifting things around for you. Say it's Moon, you have huge family changes, maybe a move. If it's Sun, it could be health, career, aesthetic changes. If it's Venus, love, beauty, money. But really, this is affecting your 10th house. So a lot of you could be starting businesses, completely changing your careers, maybe getting noticed all of a sudden. Uranus is going to start shaking things up in your career sector, and Saturn and Neptune are retrograding in your 8th house, causing you to maybe really delve deep into financial matters, insurance, stocks, 401s, or trying to be more responsible with your money, with your future, with any joint finances. You guys could also be doing a lot of research, getting into occult studies, spiritual knowledge, going back over things and finding ways to let go of the past, especially as your ruler is transiting the 12th house. A lot of Virgo risings are clearing out the old, clearing out old baggage, not just psychological, but actually physical. A lot of you guys might be really getting rid of stuff that no longer aligns with you. August 22nd, the sun will enter your first house, really putting the spotlight on you. And August 23rd, we have a new moon right in your ascendant in your first house, Virgo. And this is activating new beginnings associated with yourself, your body, your identity, your path in life, your personality. So this is a time where you might be starting over with a new wardrobe, a new look, drawing in new people to you, new life experiences. So a lot of you may be really inspired to maybe get a new haircut, a new wardrobe, change up your look completely, or because this is where the eclipses are happening, you might even feel that you want to go back to an old look, an old haircut, an old hair color. There's something in the past that you really liked and now you want to go back to that. So with a new moon, we get this sense of optimism, like we want to start or initiate something new, or we are. But with the South Node being in your sign, it could have a lot to do with going back to the past or initiating something completely brand new, but it is becoming part of you, part of your subconscious. So whatever it is that you begin now, you're going to integrate this into your subconscious mind. So it will be a change that you initiate that really stays with you. The reason for this, the South Node wants perfectionism. It really highlights insecurities. So through insecurities, through things that you do not like when it comes to yourself, your health, or your looks, your aesthetic, you are going to make a change. For some of you, it could be a drastic change. For some of you, it is just something that you are looking into and you're going to start initiating towards the end of August and through September. So a lot of you want this change because you feel that there is something imperfect, something you do not like, something that does not align with you. On the 25th, Venus will enter Leo. This is your 12th house. So there could be a relationship from the past that you may be reminiscing of, thinking of. Somebody from the past comes back into your life, or this is just you enjoying yourself behind the scenes more privately, or even for some of you, a relationship that starts kind of behind the scenes. You don't want to tell anybody yet. The 12th house is expenses. It's the house of losses, and Venus rules over your second house. So this could be expenses because you are beautifying yourself. You want to change your look. You could actually be spending money on this, working on yourself, on your transformation behind the scenes, not really telling anybody, working in silence. So there could be more expenses that come up, or maybe future investments as well. Investments towards courses, or maybe even spending money on a trip or travel. Getting rid of old possessions. This is a time where you might go through your jewelry, your clothes, your makeup, things like that, beautifying products, and get rid of the old towards the end of the month and into September. I hope that this was helpful, Virgo. Libra, the first week of August, you still have Mars in your 12th house, along with the South Node, where you could be going over past situations, maybe past situations coming back into your life to be dealt with. But this is also a time where a lot of you could be having insomnia, losing sleep, having a hard time to fall asleep, or really having a lot of dreams that can lead to a lot of clarity. You're really thinking things through, as you have been doing in July as well. So it's a time where you are maybe even letting go of the past bad habits. You are integrating a new part of yourself into your subconscious. On the 7th, Mars will enter your sign. So you're going to be a lot more energetic. You're finally going to feel like you're coming out of your shell. You want to go out, be seen. But this may lead you to being very impatient, maybe even picking fights with a partner, a friend, a business partner. Especially watch around the 8th, but really all month long, we're going to have a Mars opposite Saturn, and this is going to bring in a lot of frustrations or things standing in your way, especially around the 8th, but really all month. With Mars opposite Saturn, you can feel like there's a lot of frustration, things or people standing in your way. It could be coming from a business partner or a romantic partner, a spouse. Blockages, delays in relationships, and this may give you a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. So do be cautious of this. And this is your first house, so watch your health. You may be very impatient. August 9th, we have a full moon in Aquarius, your 5th house. And this is a continuation of the July new moon started in your 11th house that was aspected by Uranus, Mercury, Saturn, and Neptune. So at this time, maybe you are ending a romantic relationship or giving up dating altogether. This could be a time where things in your children's lives are coming to an end. Maybe they're finishing up a school or some kind of project. So this can be a time where you have been putting in so much effort into a creative project. You are finally seeing things pay off. But for some of you, there can be some emotional endings, entanglements with relationships, romantic partners, because you also have that Mars opposite Saturn in your first 7th house axis. So for a lot of you, there can be some relationship drama this month. But this full moon really does encourage you to have fun, express your creativity, have fun with your children, or maybe if things are going really well, take a relationship to the next level. Get more serious about somebody. On the 11th, Mercury stations direct in your 11th house of groups, friendships, your hopes and dreams, your future plans. And right now you may be getting clarity about friends, people from the past that maybe contacted you in this retrograde period, especially old friends, or maybe you are getting a clear picture of exactly what you want out of your future. And also the benefit of this is communication will go a lot smoother. The huge thing on the 12th, Venus will conjunct Jupiter at 14 degrees of Cancer in your 10th house of career and public image, and really all month long. This is so fantastic because Venus rules Libra. It's a very beneficial planet coming together with great big Jupiter, really aligning your career goals. Maybe you want to start a business, get a promotion, get a new job, get noticed. This is a time where you can even get praise from superiors, people of authority. People can notice you a lot more. A great month for career opportunities, Libra. So definitely start initiating something in the career realm. With Saturn and Neptune retrograding in your 7th house, you could be really rethinking, re-examining an existing relationship. This could be that a partner or spouse is going through a lot. There could also be things that come to light that you were not aware of within a relationship, business partnership. As Neptune is retrograding, the rose-colored glasses may come off and you may see a lot of imperfections in a romantic partner or a romantic relationship, a business partnership. On the 22nd, the sun goes into your 12th house, and on the 23rd, the new moon in Virgo landing in your 12th house shows a new beginning in 12th house areas. So there can be more expenses, spending money on something, on travel. This can be a time where you are really initiating a big change in your health, your mental health. Now, the interesting thing about this new moon is that while it is a new moon, a new beginning, it is where the South Node is residing. So you are kind of integrating something in from the past with this. Maybe you are dissatisfied with something. Wherever the South Node is residing, we are really insecure. We may be dissatisfied. We want perfectionism. So we want to sometimes maybe even go back to the past. The past comes back to us to be dealt with. It could also be that you just go back through all your past situations that you have gone through and you finally find a new way to deal with it. Deal with whether it is your health, your relationships, your romantic relationships, whatever it be, you might finally wake up to a pattern or how you yourself are holding yourself back, maybe with limiting beliefs, things like that. So you are going to integrate something from the past or learn from the past in some way around this full moon. On the 25th, Venus, your ruler, will go into your 11th house. So this could be a time where maybe you find love through a friendship circle, a group, a club that you belong to. An excellent time to be seen, gain more followers. But this really means that towards the very end of August, you could have some fun times with groups of people, with your friends. I hope that this was helpful, Libra. Scorpio, the first week of August, Mars is still in your 11th house, as it has been all of July with the South Node. So there can be some anger, frustrations within friendship circles, within the groups that you belong to, with an older sibling. There could be a sense that maybe you've been distancing yourself from certain friends, certain groups, certain associations. On the 7th, Mars moves into the sign of Libra, and this is a time where things are going on behind the scenes. It can cause insomnia, some sleepless nights, a little bit of anxiety could come up within you, and you could have a lot of very vivid dreams that literally tell you a story that you are thinking about at the moment, dreams that wake you up in the middle of the night. It could be a time where the past resurfaces and you need to deal with it. People from the past gossip about you. You may even notice some jealousy coming from other people. And of course, the 12th house is our expenses. There can be sudden, unexpected expenses that come up, or maybe you have to spend a lot of money on something. This could even be a trip or a course you are taking. And since Mars is your ruler and it's going into the 12th house of hidden beneath the surface, you may feel like you are retreating a little bit, wanting to spend more time alone, or maybe you are working on something behind the scenes, kind of keeping it quiet, not telling anybody what your plans are. But do be careful and cautious of your health, especially your mental health, because that is what the 12th house represents. It represents our thoughts, our mental health, our subconscious mind that really rules how we go about life. Because on the 8th, but you can feel this all month, we have Mars opposite Saturn and even Neptune in your 6th house of work, health, daily habits. So there could be some health issue that comes up or some pushback with work, scheduling, debt, payments, co-workers, or employees for those of you who own a business. And this can really bring up a lot of frustrations when it comes to health, work, co-workers, daily routine, or you can feel like there's a lot of blockages standing in your way. And especially as we go into the full moon on the 9th, you may feel like there is just a lot of tension at work, in your daily environment. August 9th, the full moon is happening in your 4th house of home, family, mother, vehicles. It can be a time where you are moving, selling a place, selling a vehicle, maybe getting rid of your stuff. Excellent time to go through the clutter in your home, get rid of what no longer serves you, donate it, get rid of it. It's like you wanting to start fresh, start anew. The full moon is also a final result. It could be a time where you are buying a new vehicle. It's finally arriving. You are finally moving into your new home, redecorating, moving in with somebody. This can be a change going on in your home, new baby, new pet, new roommate, new living circumstances. Now remember, we had the new moon in Leo, July, aspected by Mercury, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, and Uranus. So all the way from July until August, you have been having changes within your career, maybe the people that you work with, or your image to the outside world. Now we're coming full circle, and it is affecting your home living environment. There could be a lot of changes going on for you when it comes to your home, your inner security, your career. This can also mean that there's new developments happening in the life of your parents as well. On the 11th, we have Mercury stationing direct in your 10th house of career and public image. This could be a time where new contracts, promotions, or maybe you initiating a new business venture all makes sense. On the 12th, Venus conjuncts Jupiter at 14 degrees of Cancer. This is trining your sign, which means there's a lot of luck coming to you. And this luck could be through reading, writing, teaching, publishing, travel, any kind of legal case as well. This can mean that things will go your way, or they will at least go smoother. Finding a spiritual teacher, maybe learning something that really helps you in life or within your career. And because ninth house is really the house of luck, and Venus and Jupiter are both trining you, this is a really, really lucky time. So if there is something you want to learn, there's something you want to dig deep into, this is a fantastic month to get into that. On the 22nd, the sun will enter your 11th house. And on the 23rd, we do have that new moon in Virgo in your 11th house. So a new moon in the 11th house is really all about gaining popularity, gaining recognition, maybe fulfilling one of your wishes as well, because it is the house of your hopes and dreams, your plans for the future, finding new groups that you want to belong to, as well as new friends. So from August 23rd all the way until the next new moon in September, you're going to be really drawing people to you, networking, feeling like you want to be part of a community. This is the exact axis that we have the eclipses happening, more to come in the fall. And this is where the South Node is sitting. And wherever the South Node is, it could actually be past, friends from the past, groups that you were maybe involved in, or even charities in the past, is something that may come around, come back into your life somehow. Or it can mean that there's some kind of dissatisfaction within a friendship circle, friendship group, and you are looking for something else. So from now until September, you may find a new friend or a new group that you want to belong to. This could even be online, and it could feel like you have a spiritual connection, a past life connection, like you just click. So it is a fantastic time to really get out there, mingle, network, and socialize with people. On the 25th, Venus will enter your 10th house. So towards the end of the month, you are going to find a lot of satisfaction at work. This is where a lot of satisfaction will come to you at the end of the month, is putting in a lot of work, mingling with other people. And for a lot of you, there's a big chance of finding love in the workplace, through colleagues, through friends, towards the end of the month and well into September. I hope that this was helpful, Scorpio. Sagittarius, the first week of August, Mars is still hanging out in your 10th house. There can be clashes with bosses, people of authority, but Mars in the 10th house brings a lot of inspiration when it comes to your job, your career. You could be really working on perfecting your skill set right now. And because this is where the South Node is residing, whatever it is that you have been working on July and even the first week of August, you are integrating this as part of your skill set for the future. On the 7th, Mars will move into Libra, the 11th house. So be a little bit cautious, because you may have arguments, disagreements with an older sibling, with friends, with a friendship circle. But Mars in the 11th also means you're working really hard on your future plans, what you want for your future. A lot of you can be gaining more recognition, more followers. So it is a good time to really start working on those future plans. On the 8th, Mars is going to oppose Saturn in Aries in your 5th house. There will be tension between friendship groups, between where you think you want to be, where you want to go, and your creative self-expression, your creative ideas, projects, maybe even children, some arguments with children, disagreements with children, or some tension with your children or romantic partners. So do be cautious of this, because this can bring up a lot of tension, anger, or you may just feel like there is blockages in what you want to accomplish creatively. Jupiter, your ruler, is sitting in the 8th house along with Venus. Jupiter also rules your 4th house. 8th house is the house of transformation, shared resources. It's a time, especially on the 12th, when Venus comes together with Jupiter at 14 degrees of Cancer in your 8th house, where you could have a lot of luck when it comes to investments, loans, shared resources, maybe even a transformation in a home, buying a new vehicle, buying a new home, revamping your home. Maybe there is new members coming into your home, new members of the family. This is an excellent transformation when it comes to money. It's bringing a lot of luck to you in the 8th house area. So luck with money, shared resources, stocks, bonds, loans, research, metaphysical subject. For a lot of you, this is a personal transformation. A lot of you could be transforming your look in some way starting in August, beautifying yourself more, maybe completely changing up your clothing, your aesthetic, your hairstyle. August 9th, there is a full moon in Aquarius. This is your 3rd house of self-effort, skill set, neighbors, siblings, and maybe you are seeking some kind of closure when it comes to community, neighborhood. Or you may notice that the places that you like to go, you like to hang out, shop at, are not the same anymore. So you're going to be changing what you do within your community. You may even notice some of your neighbors changing, neighbors moving, new ones coming in. You could also be finishing up something that you have been learning. For some of you, this may be a time you are going to release, let go of an old computer, cell phone, software, and maybe update something. Start sharing your feelings, your ideas with friends online in an online community as well. Also on this day, we have Mars opposite Neptune retrograde in your 5th house. So there can be something that comes to light or reveals itself, whether it is about a creative project, your investment, your romantic partner, something having to do with your children or friendship groups you belong to. The full moon is about closure, releasing, getting something done, but it is also about revealing something to you. Maybe it is revealing exactly which way to go with a creative project, something that you are working on. So while Mars is in the 11th, you can really put your work into your future plans. August 11th, Mercury turns direct in your 9th house, giving you clarity, especially when it comes to a contract, a publishing deal, a travel plan that you may have, or even a romantic partnership. Uranus is now making its way in your 7th house. So if you have personal planets or your rising sign is from 0 to 3 degrees of Sagittarius, if you have personal planets in Gemini, Virgo, or Pisces at 0 to 3 degrees, you are going to be having a Uranus transit, which means there could be a lot of out of the blue shakeups coming into your life. If it's moon, this could be family, place of living. If it's sun, career, image, Venus, love, beauty, money. But of course, your 7th house is where Uranus is transiting, and it is going to transform your relationships in one way or another. And it's the very beginning, so some of you may already be feeling this. If you are an early degree Sagittarius rising, you could start to see your love life heating up starting August and into September. August 23rd, we have a new moon in the sign of Virgo, your 10th house of career and public image. Now, while this is a new moon, a new beginning when it comes to getting recognized in a career, this could be a promotion, a new job. It could even be new bosses that you are going to report to. Maybe you are going to get a bonus, or maybe some of you are even starting your own business. This is where the South Node is residing. This is where we are having eclipses, more to come in the fall. So while this is a new moon, it could actually be something coming back from the past. Maybe people that you used to work with are coming back into your life, or this could also mean that you go back to an old job, an old career, an old idea that you've had about a business, and maybe you pick that up and start this over. South Node is a dissatisfaction. We're not satisfied. We aren't really happy with what's happening there, so we're wanting something else. So it could also be because you are dissatisfied with your current position, with your current job, with the way that your business is going, that you start and initiate a new beginning in this area around the 23rd and all the way until the next new moon in September. You will be working on building your own career or maybe changing things up in this area. On the 25th, Venus will enter Leo, your 9th house area. So at the end of the month going into September, what will bring you joy is learning something, studying, picking up a book, connecting to people all over the world. It is going to get a sextile from Uranus. Some of you, if you're taking a trip, you're going on a trip, you may meet somebody, fall in love, start a relationship with somebody at a distance, somebody that you meet at school or while traveling. So especially those of you who are very early degrees, Sagittarius rising, sun or moon, there could be love in the air, or this could also mean that there's very good negotiations when it comes to contracts or publishing deals. I hope that this was helpful, Sagittarius. Capricorn, the first 6 days of August, Mars being in your 9th house, as it was all of July, you have been focused on maybe travel plans, taking a trip, a vacation, learning or updating your skill set. On the 7th, when Mars moves into your 10th house, the focus will be on career, working really hard to get things done when it comes to your business or within the company. This can bring problems with superiors, people of authority. People that you work with can piss you off a little bit. Maybe your boss is too demanding. Watch out for driving and speeding tickets. On the 8th, the 9th, going into the full moon. So from the 8th to the 12th, you guys can really feel this. Mars is going to oppose retrograding Saturn in your 4th house. It will later be opposing Neptune retrograde in your 4th house as well. So there can be secrets that come to the forefront, maybe things you weren't aware of within your home, about your home, somebody in the family, and there is some kind of a blockage, something standing in your way. And it could just be that you guys want to move, but maybe because of your job you can't, or you want a different career, but it is maybe because of home, family responsibilities that you cannot do that at the moment. You can feel like there is a blockage, something opposing you from what it is that you want to do, what it is that you desire to do. So that can be a little bit of a conflict. That puts a damper on your plans. So there can be some frustration around the 8th going into the full moon. And for you, Capricorn, it could be dealing with home, family, vehicle, career, bosses, superiors, and your public image. So you may have some frustrations in these two areas in August. August 9th, we have a full moon in Aquarius, your 2nd house. This is where you could be reaching a financial goal that you have had. This can be a time where you let go of certain possessions, and can be a time where you let go of a source of income for some of you. We had a new moon in the sign of Leo in July, aspected by Mercury, Pluto, Uranus, and Saturn and Neptune. So a lot of aspects. We are coming full circle right now on the 9th. So some of you, because of a romantic partner, because of a spouse, maybe your money situation is changing and you're letting go of a source of income, or you are letting go of what you used to rely on, some of you. So if you were maybe relying on somebody else for money, maybe you are going to change that up and rely on yourself from now on, or vice versa for some of you. So there is a change of perspective when it comes to money and spending with this full moon. And it could just be that you are getting rid of certain payments. You are going through your bills, analyzing what you want to keep paying for, because the 2nd house is our possessions, what you value. A lot of times we may be paying for things that we no longer find valuable. We don't get value out of it. So we may be going through that and releasing some stuff that we no longer want to pay for because we no longer use. It doesn't benefit us in any way any longer. A lot of intense feelings can come up with this full moon. Mars will also be in opposition to Saturn and Neptune. So there could be a lot of realizations about your career, your bosses, your superiors, and realizations about your home life, where you live, your family members. So a lot of frustrations can come up around the full moon. On the 11th, Mercury turns direct in your 8th house of shared resources. So this is a time where you can gain clarity about a contract, insurance policy, maybe even a child or custody hearing, payments, alimony, things like that can finally be smoothed out. And of course, all communication will seem a lot better going forward. On the 12th, and you could feel this for most of the month, Venus will come together with Jupiter in your 7th house of partnerships. And this is fantastic for those of you who own a business. You can gain more clientele. This is really good for dealing with people, negotiations, and of course, it is great for love, romantic relationships. Those of you who are married, there could be new wonderful things happening for your spouse or partner, or they could be updating their look or wardrobe in some way. And those of you who are single, this is a fantastic time to meet people. Others can be very drawn to you, and it could be a time where you really enjoy romantic outings, going out on dates. So if you are single, get ready. This is the time for love, Capricorn. And if you are in a romantic relationship, it can just be a time where you really enjoy each other's company. You have a lot of fun dates. You're doing a lot of outings together. August 22nd, the sun will go into your 9th house, really lighting it up because on the 23rd, we have a new moon in the sign of Virgo, your 9th house. And this is where you may be inspired to learn, teach, maybe even publish, take a trip, travel. You want to explore new knowledge, new belief systems. Maybe you are getting introduced to new teachers, new wisdom. Maybe even you want to start something new in a new location, even moving, beginning a new long-term plan. This is where we have the South Node. This is the axis where you are having eclipses, more to come this fall. So a lot of times with the South Node, we are wanting to start something new because we are not satisfied with something. There is a dissatisfaction when it comes to wisdom, skill set, belief systems, maybe about traveling, where you haven't gone, where you want to be in the future. So you're dissatisfied with the way things are, the status quo. So you want to change things up. And therefore, the dissatisfaction will lead to a new beginning, you initiating learning something new, seeking out new teachers, books, documentaries, something that gives you a broader new perspective on life. And because with the South Node, it may even be that you go back to something that you were into in the past and explore it further. Whether this be spiritual teachings, a business maybe you wanted to start before, but you kind of just put on the shelf. So you may also go back to something that you were learning before, you started to learn before, and you are exploring it more. Or you may want to travel somewhere you have been to before. Maybe you will meet or find a spiritual teacher you are very aligned with, someone you feel like you have a spiritual connection to, that you are meant to learn from. This can also mean you forming new friendships online with people from foreign lands. So you can be opened up to maybe even new music, new food. So you're opening up to new ideas, perspective, and cultures with this new moon. On the 25th, Venus will go into the sign of Leo. This is your 8th house, where you could be transforming deep emotions, or maybe you are changing your clothing, your hairstyle, your aesthetic in some way as well. Towards the end of the month and into September, what will bring you joy is research, studying something, getting into mystical, spiritual knowledge, transforming intimate relationships, or maybe some of you can benefit from other people's money, your spouse's, your partner's money, whether it be through gifts or they just start bringing in more money. I hope that this was helpful, Capricorn. Aquarius, the first 6 days of August, just like in July, you might have been going over the things that happened and occurred in the past. They might have come up to be dealt with, to be healed. Issues with money and joint finances, contracts, insurance policies, maybe had to be revised, or maybe there was some conflict there as Mars was transiting your 8th house on the 7th when it moves into your 9th house. For the rest of the month, you will be focused on travel, learning something new, publishing, teaching, learning. There may be disagreements with teachers as well, or if you are traveling, There may be some hiccups that you encounter in your travels. On the 8th, and as we go into the full moon on the 9th, Mars will oppose retrograde Saturn and retrograde Neptune in your 3rd house. So there could also be disagreements with siblings, neighbors. Maybe you are rethinking something when it comes to your siblings, your neighborhood, and your skill set, how you promote yourself. You may want to go in a new direction, and you could be rethinking that this month as Saturn and Neptune are retrograding in your 3rd house of communication and self-effort. So be careful driving, of speeding tickets, and how you communicate with people, your students, people online. People may take it the wrong way, or you may feel like there is blockages. Something is frustrating you when it comes to promoting yourself, when it comes to the relationship that you have with your siblings, your students. This can also be a cell phone, a computer breaking down. You might need to purchase new cell phones, new computers, new software. Some frustrations with immigration, travel plans, passports, with judges, or a legal matter that is giving you a lot of anger, resentment even, because it's not going your way. August 9th, we have a full moon in your 1st house. In July, we had that new moon in Leo in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. It was aspected by Mercury, Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune and Saturn. So a lot has been unfolding in your life in the way of relationships, business partnerships, contracts. And now we are coming full circle, and that new moon is changing you. So you are changing because your circumstances, the people around you are changing, maybe even clients, business partners demanding new things from you. So you are changing and shifting. Your services, your contracts, maybe even business partners, how you do business. This can also be that something is coming to conclusion. It could be you are getting rid of an old look, old clothing, old makeup. Maybe you are ready to begin something new, something coming to an end when it comes to your own identity, your personality, your life path, the beginning of you wanting a real big change in your life. So it's a good time to let go of any resentment, any kind of negative thinking, pessimism, as you are trying to let go and shed all the old things, maybe things that used to bother you. You are now looking at life in a new way, gaining a new perspective, and so you are changing. August 11th, Mercury stations direct in your 7th house, where if there was things unclear with a spouse, a partner, a business partner, or client, they may now become clear. Some of you may have even talked to people from the past, people you used to date, old business partners. A lot better of a time to sign contracts, get into deals with business partners, clients after the 11th. On the 12th, but really you can feel this for about a week or two after the 12th, Venus will conjunct Jupiter in your 6th house at 14 degrees of Cancer. Two benefics are joining in your 6th house to really change up your health, your eating habits, change up your workout routine, get organized within the house, paying off bills, paying off debt, restructuring your bills in some way. And you're going to find a lot of joy in really getting organized, getting your health back on track, improved relationships with your coworkers. If you own a business, this is a great time to hire new employees. You can find really good, helpful employees in the month of August. On the 22nd, the sun enters your 8th house, and it's really lighting it up because on the 23rd, this is where we have the new moon in Virgo, your 8th house. This is where the eclipses have been going on and more are coming in the fall. So a lot of you are going through huge life changes. The 2nd and 8th house axis is really big changes, moving, family, pregnancy, buying, selling property. It's huge life changes when it comes to your finances, shared resources, how you share time and energy with a romantic partner or spouse, as well as what really matters to you, your possessions, the money that you make. This is this access. This new moon will manifest in something changing. It is the house of transformation. So there can be a loss or something that you are healing, letting go. Maybe some of you reaching out to astrologers, tarot readers, researching something, or really digging deep into metaphysical subjects, astrology, spirituality. This can also be a time of sudden material financial rewards through the spouse, partner, in-laws, other people, loans, inheritances, insurance payouts, achieving a joint financial goal with a partner or a spouse. So this new moon is about healing or really benefiting from all the hard work that you and a partner or spouse put into making money, whatever it is that you had jointly, finally giving you the fruits of your labor. But this is where we have the South Node, and with the South Node there is always some kind of dissatisfaction. So through dissatisfaction, this can be a time where you want to begin something new because you're like, this is not working this way, we need to do things this way. Or you may feel like you or your partner is giving too much, someone isn't giving enough energy into the relationship. So you're going to want to change that. You may also want to change insurance policies, where you keep and store your money. Something financially could be changing for you. Or with the South Node being there, you might want to go to the past. How did you do things in the past that worked? And maybe bring some of that back and rework it. Go back to it. You know, sometimes we stop doing something, go to something else, but we realize it's not working and we want to go back to the way it was done in the past. And this is what this new moon can bring up for you, Aquarius. On the 25th, Venus will enter Leo. So at the very end of the month and really going into September is a time where you can meet new people. Those of you who are single, you can meet new romantic partners, or you can have a good time with a spousey romantic partner, a more loving time where you go on dates, a great time to gain new clients, to sign contracts at the end of the month and into September. But this is really a great time for love and romance as well. I hope that this was helpful, Aquarius. Pisces, the first week of August, Mars is still in your 7th house with the South Node. So there can still be arguments, disagreements with business partners, clients, or romantic partners. After that, Mars will shift into your 8th house for the next 3 weeks of August. You may be dealing with past issues that are coming up to be resolved. Issues around joint finances, money that you share with a partner, as well as really digging deep into some kind of research. Maybe dealing with secrets coming to the surface, finding something out, or even dealing with past psychological issues that you are putting to rest. On the 8th, the 9th, Mars will oppose Saturn retrograde as well as Neptune retrograde. And this can cause tension, frustration when it comes to possessions, finances, the money you make, and joint finances, insurance policies, the money that your spouse or partner makes. So there could be a lot of disagreements about money, about saving money, about payments even, and how energy is divided up between two people. And going into the full moon in August, when Mars opposes Neptune as well, there could be some secrets or something that comes out that maybe you weren't well aware of when it comes to finances, the money that you make, joint finances, contracts. So this is a month where in the middle of the month, we may feel a little bit frustrated, like something is standing in our way or there seems to be blockages. And for you Pisces, it could very much be about finances and how you share money, how you pay things out, maybe even debt. August 9th, we have a full moon in Aquarius. This is your 12th house, what's hidden beneath the surface, your mental health, the house of expenses, charity. This is a time where you can let go of any painful memories, anything that you no longer want to be a part of your subconscious mind. It's a great time to release bad habits. This can also be a time of overcoming some challenges that you've been having. Now, the 12th house is the house of expenses. So it is a time where maybe you are buying something, spending a lot of money on something, or releasing things. It's a great time to get rid of stuff you no longer need. Maybe donate things you no longer need. Clear out your house, because the last new moon that we had in Leo in July, it was on this axis, and it was of course aspected by Mercury, Uranus, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, a lot of aspects. So there was a lot going on when it comes to health, debt, routine, your work. And right now you're clearing out that cycle. So we're coming full circle, and you are releasing things that no longer align with you so that you could have a better setup when it comes to your daily routine, your work environment, and your health. The full moon can bring up a little bit of anxiety, some sleepless nights. You may be inspired on how to take action through your dreams at this time. Of course, if you've had any enemies, people gossiping about you, competitors, this is a time where they could finally leave you alone. They could leave your life at this time. On the 11th, Mercury turns direct in your 6th house of daily routines, health, co-workers, your employees. So if there have been issues with your employees, with your co-workers, work contracts, or something going on with your health that you couldn't find the answer to, things could become clear right now. And of course, communication will be going a lot smoother from here on out, from the 11th moving forward. On the 12th, we have Venus conjunct Jupiter at 14 degrees of Cancer. And for you, this is the 5th house of romance, creativity, children. So if you are single, this is the time to meet somebody, fall in love. The 5th house is the house of falling in love, improved relationship, maybe something exciting happening in the lives of your children, a new creative project that brings you a lot of joy. Investing your money into the stock market. This is also luck in games of chance as well. But this really signifies having fun. For some of you, even getting pregnant, taking a relationship to the next level, or at least having a good time dating, meeting new people. This is the house of luck, the house of fun. This conjunction really does bring so much luck into the romance, creativity area of your chart. This is a really good omen for August for you, Pisces, especially where romance is concerned, because you also have a new moon in your 7th house. So a lot of you could be finding somebody that you really align with, or have improved relations, or take a relationship to the next step for some of you. On the 22nd, the sun will go into your 7th house, highlighting partnerships, business contracts, anything like that. And this is a big deal because August 23rd, the new moon in Virgo in your 7th house of partnerships is initiating a new beginning, with new contracts, maybe new clientele coming to you, Pisces, as well as new business partners, starting a new relationship, taking a relationship to the next level, marriage. Or maybe for some of you, you are just initiating the dating stage in your life, but this is where the South Node is residing. So for a lot of you, this could actually be maybe rekindling an old past relationship. And for some of you, because this is where the South Node is residing, you could be letting go of your feelings that you've been holding on to for someone, letting go of an old relationship, an old business partnership, so that you can actually start something new, moving on. So there is a feeling of moving backwards here. So you can feel like you are bringing people back from the past, maybe people you haven't seen, talked to in a while. You may even hear back from people that you used to date, you used to work with, Or you could just be learning from your past relationships, and really looking back at it and integrating this into your subconscious, into the way that you do relationships from here on out. This is a very big new moon because this is where the eclipses have been happening, more coming this fall. So a lot of you could be making huge changes when it comes to your personal relationships right now. This can also be the beginning of something new in your spouse's life, in your partner's life. You are beginning to understand yourself now through your partner's eyes. So you could be having a lot of aha moments at this time. This is also a time where new enemies may pop up, or even competitors. If you own a business, you're online, you may see more competition around the end of August. So while there is a brand new opportunity coming to you in this sector, it has a sense of familiarity. It could even be that you lock eyes, you meet with somebody and you feel like you've known them for a really long time. You feel like you have a spiritual connection. And this new moon that starts August 23rd will be with you. These things will be unfolding all the way until September, when then we are starting with the eclipses. So it's a big deal. A lot of you can have a lot of huge changes in your relationship department starting in August. Pisces, on the 25th, Venus moves into Leo. Your sixth house of daily habits, work, routine, competition. It's the house of health. And it's a time where you might want to really get in shape, change up your diet, or you could really have fun with clearing out your house, getting organized. Doing the day-to-day activities could bring you a lot of joy at the end of August going into September. I hope that you found this helpful. Like and subscribe for more.